Podcast 12A, Myopia, A Way of Life. If you have any questions or would like additional information, please let me know. The goals for this podcast are a definition of myopia, what causes myopia, and an assignment to help you transfer the podcast into an everyday learning experience to improve your vision. People who are nearsighted tend to concentrate their visual attention in the center of the visual field. For example, compared to people who do not need to wear glasses, nearsighted people prefer to read a book for enjoyment rather than engage in a sport involving a moving object. In previous podcasts, the mechanisms for central and peripheral vision have been described. Here we will give an explanation for what happens when the central vision is the, no pun intended, the focus of your attention. Because the tension in the focusing muscle is interdependent with the muscles in the head, face, neck, and shoulders, the nearsightedness can get into your whole body and mind as well. As you know, there are two theories of light. One is that light is a wavelength, and the second is that light is a particle of energy known as a photon. When you go to the eye doctor to have your eyes examined, the assumption is that vision and your vision problem is due to the wavelength theory. But what happens if the vision disorder is due to the particle theory, which is based on information processing? For the nearsighted person, this has far-ranging ramifications because, as shown in the previous slide, a nearsighted person needs to gather information from the periphery and not just the center of the visual field. Accordingly, to reduce nearsightedness, we should rely on the information theory and get people to parallel process with both central and peripheral vision. Let us now consider that rather than correcting nearsightedness with glasses via the wavelength theory, we correct it by teaching the person how to get out of the habit of primarily using the central visual field, like Mr. Magoo. First, we're going to discuss some of the etiological factors, and in the next podcast, there will be a description of the training to reduce nearsightedness. The standard definition of nearsightedness is when an image is formed in front of the retina of the eye. Because the image is in front of the retina receives a blurry image. How we see is a brain function. The eye is only a receptacle for imaging and some image processing. It is in the brain where the remaining image processing and interconnections with the other parts of the brain and body are performed. As the eyes turn in convergent, there is an increase in accommodation and focusing. A stressed convergent system can lead to myopia. Convergence insufficiency is the most common result of a stressed focusing system. As a result of the convergence insufficiency, there will either be a double image, a shadow of a second image, or only one image because the brain will suppress one of the eyes. This is in addition to having blurry vision as a result of spasm of the focusing system. The vision system is not just a camera that images objects in the world onto the eye and into our brain. The vision system is intimately related to many parts of the brain, including the limbic system, which controls our emotions. The vision system is also intimately related to our brain concentration. When there is a vision problem, most likely there's going to be a problem in concentration as well. In my experience, most people who have been diagnosed ADD or ADDHD or on the autistic spectrum have vision problems that preclude comfortable and efficient vision and good concentration. This graphic is taken from the classic text by Darrell Boyd Harmon that shows the correct posture when reading. Further on in the text, Dr. Harmon describes the Harmon distance, which is the optimal distance for reading. The measurement for the Harmon distance is from the elbow to the first knuckle with an angle of 20 degrees off the horizontal. This will decrease the amount of muscle tension in the upper body, head, neck, and shoulders that are interdependent with the tension in the focusing muscle. The assignment for this podcast is to notice how much time you spend looking up close versus how much time you spend looking far away. Second, how close do we hold the book or smartphone from our eye? Are you within the Harmon distance range? Make an effort to notice the height of buildings as you walk past them, and also what is around you left and right, and not just what is in the center of your visual field.